Mbappe doesn't want to be there, but they're both going to be there, Jules.
Yeah, which is a crazy situation, really, when you think about it. And the one that they want to play is not the one who's going to play, because ideally, in the best of world, Mbappe will be the one they can rely on and build the team around for the season to come with Luis Enrique. But I think if he doesn't move, they would do something with him, either bench him all season or most of the game, something. But Neymar will be there, and Luis Enrique will like, okay, if you're here, then may as well use you. But it will be rather Kylian to be used and not Neymar. This is an unbelievable situation.
And what have they done with all the Kylian Mbappe kits from the shop? Because the club shop isn't selling them anymore, Jules.
Yeah, that's the rumors. To be fair, I wanted to check before if you could still buy them online. I wanted to send one of my cousins or one of my sisters to go and try to buy one.
Yeah.
And I didn't.
And they're like, we've got better things to do with our lives, Jules. Ringing us from Australia to send us the PSG club shop.
It would be a good experiment though to go. It's not too far from the house. But yeah, I find it strange, but it might be well possible. We know the poker game between the club and Mbappe and the Mbappe clan. We know that in terms of power, trying to unsell everybody. Again, I think PSG in the last 48 hours have tried to say to Kylian, listen, why don't you extend? And we put a clause in that extension that says that in the summer 2024, we give you a guarantee selling clause with a certified amount of money. So for that amount, you go, whatever club, just release that money and lift the trigger the clause, for example. And he said no again to that. That's the second time that they tried to put that in a new contract, and he said no. So this is still the kind of power struggle between him and the club. And that's another step towards trying to unsettle him, trying to make him, to force him to accept some sort of new contract. But again, the thing that amazes me is that it's almost like if the club doesn't know him. This is who he's so stubborn. Now he's decided that he's not going to extend the contract at all. He's not going to change. We know him. Me and Frank know him so well. He's not going to do anything now. So I think the club should accept that this is the situation. Nothing will change now. He's not going to accept anything, not even for the whole money in the world, and just try to find another solution.
To me, you got to give PSG credit
for trying.
No, you got to give them credit because every manager that walks in, they're giving them the full PSG experience.
Very much so, yeah.
Luis Enrique said it probably sat and went, well, I wonder if I'm going to get the full PSG experience.
Yeah.
He's found out
Most
very
definitely.
quickly. So, in all fairness to them, they're giving them that experience. Now, we've already seen one former Spanish manager basically walk from a Premier League club today, and Julian Lopetegui from Wolves. At this rate, we could see another one, sort of tongue-in-cheek, but you could imagine what's going through his mind. He's got all these things he's trying to improve. And, I mean, surely to God, before the transfer window ends, that some sort of agreement with Real Madrid has to be reached, and this whole saga is just put to bed, and everyone can move on, no?
We blame Mbappe's stubborn French ways, Frank.
Well, he's really French, I guess, you know. We're all stubborn. And we really all know what we want. You know what I want to say about I was following an interview from Arsene Wenger, what he was saying, you know, at the time, you know, you had the chance to even give order to players. Nowadays, for those players who are millionaires, some of them even billionaires, you can't even give order. You can negotiate, but you cannot command anybody. We are in a different business. The players are deciding for what they want to do, and deciding even if they are under contract. Nowadays, they decide. Neymar, 4 years contract, I want to go. Mbappe, 1 year contract, I want to go. Some players, you know, you wanted to go at the time where you know you had no chance to play. Most of the time it was like that. Nowadays is, well, I don't care. I have contract, but I want to go. That's absolutely crazy. We live in another world, and I would join Mr. Wenger when he says that you cannot say anything to the players anymore because they are a company. They really are a company. They're not anymore players.
In the old days, it was the manager that used to shout your name at the training ground.
Yeah.
Bully, get up here. Now it's the other way. It's like, Enrique, get out here.
Get here.
Get in here.
Anything you'd like to add, Shaka?
A couple of things. I don't see Kylian Mbappe is doing anything wrong here at all, in all honesty. PSG painted themselves into this corner 18 months ago when they decided to make him, where they turned down the 200 million euro offer from Real Madrid and sold him on this project, but only put him on a 2-year contract. And now he's doing what's well within his rights. I like how Jules framed this as a power struggle between PSG and Kylian Mbappe. It's not a power struggle at all. Mbappe has all the power. And he's just saying to PSG he's not giving any back. And he's right if he wants to see out his contract, to see it out. Again, this is not about a player who's under contract forcing a move. This is about a player who's saying, I'm happy to see out my contract and I'll move at the end of it, which I think is every player's right. I don't see Kylian Mbappe as doing anything wrong. This is just PSG letting their ego get in the way when that 200 million euro offer came in and are now paying that 200 million euro price.
One last thing on PSG. Gonzalo Ramos is heading there, isn't he, Jules? You excited?
Yeah, it's been officially announced. We knew they were looking for a number 9. They had a few names, of course, on the short list, like Harry Kane and Randal Colomwani. In the end, they chose Gonzalo Ramos. Some people are still telling me that maybe Colomwani can also come on top of Ramos. I'm a bit more skeptical about that, but we saw how the potential and how good he could be at the World Cup when he scored a hat-trick against Switzerland. We saw him with Benfica being really, really good. He's a young player. I think he might need a bit of time just to adapt and to still develop. But Luis Enrique can do something very interesting with him. And he's going to be the number 9 that they've been missing really since the departure of Edinson Cavani a few years ago now. And I think it's really interesting. But I think there's still a long way to go